And Julie, when I got here, deputies were loading that student into the back of a squad car 14 years ago. And at this church right here in Tallahassee, all three local universities say they were on board with having early voting sites on the campuses.
What was the feeling like inside the Capitol?
Well, there was a lot of anticipation leading up to when they actually spoke. In this home that we're at right here on Brevard Street, it is one of those 44 potential demo cases with the city. TPD releasing this 8-page initial police report today, but most of the information on here redacted. To some of the residents here, this pile of rubble that you see behind me, it's just that. It's the remains of a fire. The athletes who lace up their shoes are what draw in this big crowd of people, ultimately funneling in millions of dollars to Leon County. Upon arriving on the scene, first responders go through triage, determining which wounds and victims are most urgent and getting them help immediately. We're on about day 5 of this, so when you talk to students on campus, you get that slight eye roll. They're sick about hearing these rumors and they're just ready for a decision. It's not the first time that the idea of consolidation has come up. It's been on the ballot 4 separate times, and each time failing. But you don't need to look far to find a city that does operate this way. Julie, Ben, there are about 940 city employees with city-issued cell phones. It doesn't stem from a number you see on the scale or the body type you see in the mirror. It all starts right here, a mental health issue many don't know enough about.
Mariel, this alleged incident happened years ago.
Ben, it did 14 years ago, and at this church right here in Tallahassee, Blessed Sacrament Catholic Church. Now, Father Eddie Jones, he served here for several years, eventually leaving in 2007. Bishop Bill Walk telling me today that as soon as they received that allegation against Jones, that action was taken immediately. A place for worship, turning into a nightmare for one young victim.
Always reprehensible, always horrible, always sinful.
Father Edward Jones accused of inappropriate contact with a minor 14 years ago. The victim, a mass goer at Blessed Sacrament, where he once served. Father Jones now removed from his current post as pastor in Crawfordville and Lanark Village.
All of his responsibilities have been removed. He is no longer to function as a priest in this diocese or anywhere, or even, wear clerical garb.
Hi, this is Mariel Carbone with WCTV. We reached out to these local law enforcement agencies. Each say no report has been filed and none are investigating at this time. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton did not return a call for comment. Blessed Sacrament referring us to the bishop.
Now, the only thing we can do, I think, is to take every single thought, concern, allegation seriously, and that's what we're trying to do.
I was raped and abused when I was 12 years old by my parish priest.
Tim Lennon works the Florida chapter of SNAP, or Survivors Network of those abused by priests.
So when someone comes forward, it provides an opportunity for survivors to say, I'm not alone.
He says the Catholic Church isn't doing enough to stop this from happening. He puts the responsibility on the Pope.
He can compel every diocese in the United States, in Tallahassee and all of Florida, to say, open the books.
The accusation comes just days after a grand jury report dropped in Pennsylvania, accusing 300 priests of sexual abuse. Bishop Walk says there's no connection between that and what happened here. It's unclear if the grand jury report pushed the victim to speak.
I would just say that it is a time of profound sadness and sorrow and confusion for a lot of people. It's a time of soul searching again, a time of hopefully reform for our institution and for ourselves.
And I did ask Bishop Walk if Jones was moved from this parish over to Wakulla County because of any prior incidents. He tells me no, that this accusation was the first one that they've heard and dealt with, and that they followed through with policies and procedures that they had in place to handle this. Julie Eden, the Tallahassee Police Department is calling this investigation an active criminal investigation. TPD releasing this 8-page initial police report today, but most of the information on here redacted. Still, as TPD continues investigating, the campus is abuzz with talks of drugs, alcohol, and that ban stemming from this weekend's death. Florida State University, a school known for football, But students say it has another reputation.
Whenever I say I'm from Florida State, it's, oh, that's the party school.
A party culture some say revolves around Greek life.
So you just hear so many horror stories from years past, don't go upstairs in a frat house, just stuff like that.
Sororities and fraternities now under the microscope after the death of Andrew Coffey, a Pi Kappa Phi fraternity pledge. Plus, at least 2 other fraternity members arrested on drug charges. One in the same fraternity Coffey was pledging.
We have a cultural issue here that we need to deal with.
Thrasher announcing his sweeping decision to suspend Greek life Monday. He says responses are now pouring in from all over, statewide to nationwide.
Most people understand it. There are some who think that we cast the net too broadly. And my response to that is that, I want the entire Greek community involved in the solution.
Some on campus welcoming the action.
Obviously, you do something to honor and realize that this is a problem within our university.
And hoping the startling death of Andrew Coffey prompts real change on campus.
Do I think that they're going to fix it or at least talk it out? I definitely think that that'll happen, especially with the power that fraternities have around campus.
Julie Eden, as far as the investigation goes, the Tallahassee Police Department says it won't make any decision on charges until an autopsy is complete, so this investigation could take some time. Reporting live from Florida State University campus, Mariel Carbone, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Okay.
Ben, to some of the residents here, this pile of rubble that you see behind me, it's just that. It's the remains of a fire. But to some of the bookstore's most loyal customers, this behind me represents a chapter in Tallahassee's history books. Behind the rubble, a few charred books peek through ashes. And then this.
When I saw the roses, I immediately started to cry.
Roses, a card of condolences, salvaged books.
This really was a place for us. This was a place for the Tallahassee community to come and learn.
The International Book Mine. It's one of the few places left that represent Old Gain Street. The area undergoing a transformation over the last few years. Old warehouses now replaced by student houses.
Tallahassee is becoming very different. It's not necessarily built around a community anymore, and to lose this hub as a community, especially for students, I don't know where we're going to go anymore.
Alicia Damiano and her friend Alyssa Ball, regulars at the store, saving what they could.
To come here and to see everything just utterly destroyed, I wanted to salvage any small semblance, any book, any even sheet of paper that looked somewhat salvageable. I want to put out here.
Including George Orwell's 1984, and signing the card left for owner Jason Hayes.
Yeah.
See, you have these flowers and this card here. I mean, what is it like knowing that people came out and did something like that?
Oh, that touches me deeply. I wish I had a instant replacement.
But for now, a shrine of memories, all that's left of a local staple. Ben, the Tallahassee Fire Department, along with the State Fire Marshal's Office, are still investigating the cause of this fire. At this point, it's unclear how much property damage in numbers was actually caused here. Reporting live in Tallahassee, Mariel Carbone, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Okay, Mary.